What is good, guys? It's your boy Gamers Goon back here today with the Gutcheck podcast. I've got some news on the potential cover boy for 2K18. The Undertaker possibly making a return after his great send-off at WrestleMania 33. The Raw ratings rise after the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. You got my take on Lana Lena, as people are referring to her. You got the Jake the Snake Roberts possibly returning. Who will he fight if he does return, and who does he want his dream match against? We got news on the WWE theme park. Is it coming soon? Reports say they might have it coming soon. Austin Aries potentially injured. You got some news on that here today. And more than just that, folks. We got my top 5 potential opponents after what Kurt Angle has been doing on TV with the Corey Graves segments. We also have the top 5 attackers, I believe, has attacked Enzo and Cass over the past couple of weeks. And you also have my take on Samoa Joe versus Brock Lesnar, which both are scheduled to be on television tomorrow on Monday Night Raw. So that shall be pretty dang good. So we're going to start with the Raw ratings here. So this week's edition of Monday Night Raw, it had a main event of Samoa Joe and Seth Rollins. That's when it started to drop. For hour 1, they reached over 3 million viewers with 3,113,000 viewers. Hour 2, they lost 3,000 viewers and they were at 3,110,000 viewers. In hour 3, they dropped quite heavily here. They had 2,758,000 viewers for an average of 2,994,000 viewers. Just below that 3 million mark that they're trying to get back at. We've seen them go above it recently, but it's an improvement of what they've been doing. It really is. It's quite the improvement of what they've been doing. So that is that. Our next piece of news here comes from Forbes. Potentially adding a WWE theme park to the Orlando area. And while Disneyland, the ambitious rival for a promotion battling serious concerns in viewership and demographics that we just went over, WWE seems poised to take a step forward in competing with Disney's greatest attraction, their theme parks. But with tumultuous viewership numbers that fall every year, and a fledgling over-the-top network that is soldiering on a satisfactory pace, a WWE theme park might just be too ambitious. Foric, an international design company, has released a concept art behind a potential WWE theme park attraction. WWE could license attractions to other theme parks or create one of its own in a move that may finally lead to the construction of the long-awaited physical Hall of Fame for WWE. As we all know, WrestleMania 33 was in Orlando this past year. It seems to be the most likely destination for the theme park, given its affinity for tourism and attractions. Orlando brought in 68 million visitors in 2016. The high traffic of both domestic and international tourists helped the Orlando International Airport generate $31 billion. Outside ventures like a theme park that would bring an adolescent vacationer, it could also be part of the solution of appealing to a younger demographic, as WWE's median demographic has doubled since 2000. I believe I heard it was 54-ish when I last heard. According to the International Association of Amusement Park and Attractions, the average guest demographic of a theme park are families with children from 2 to 18 years of age. If WWE is to move forward in creating a full-scale theme park here, it will behoove the promotion to seek a potential partner similar to Nintendo's partnership with Universal Studios. That will see the entertainment titans spend $434 million to develop and create rides and attractions. They even plan on opening smaller scale attractions as part of the larger theme park, similar to how Wizarding World of Harry Potter is. It would also anticipating spending up towards $200 million. A lot of restaurants and theme parks that could be here would be named after WWE finishers such as The Rock Bottom or maybe Suplex City. There's also been rumors resulting around a John Cena roller coaster. So you can take that with a grain of salt that might be coming up here in the future. The next piece of news here we got is Jake the Snake Roberts. He wants to return to WWE for one last match. As we all know, Jake the Snake has been high on his praises towards Bray Wyatt here. And he sent out a tweet saying, "Dear wrestling gods, please gift me a match versus Bray Wyatt. Promised to work really hard and sure it would be extremely interesting." And then he tagged the WWE. I quote this from Cage Site Seats here. "While this would be worth it for the promos alone, it seems pretty unlikely WWE would clear Roberts from the ring, probably because of his cancer problems. He's taken DDP yoga recently to get well in his program, but he probably would not so much so that it can get a 62-year-old cancer survivor with a surgically reconstructed shoulder cleared by Vince McMahon's doctors. Like I said, probably because of his cancer." I got to admit, though, it'd be extremely interesting seeing the promos between them. You got Damien versus Sister Abigail. That'd be kind of cool. And I would assume that Damien would be released on to Bray Wyatt. And we got some more news here on Austin Aries. Alright, so Austin Aries, as we all know, was not on TV this week. And that could be because of a potential injury holding him back. Austin Aries went on an interview with the Broken Open podcast. And he said that he might have lost due to his injury. Alright, so in an interview with Busted Open Radio, he promoted his new book. Austin Aries might have revealed a reason why he failed to win the Cruiserweight Championship from Neville on his third attempt at Extreme Rules. He's working through an injury. Aries went on to say, "I've got some stuff going on, but just to be fair, you could probably say that for a lot of people in the locker room. Obviously, at this point, it might be a good time to take a little break, which really could consist of 2 or 3 days, just adjust some things." After losing to Neville on Sunday, Aries was shown sitting at ringside almost manically happy, strangely smiling into the camera despite his defeat. I thought this was a little bit of a botch, but I guess it was scripted, which could be teasing a gimmick overhaul for when he does return to TV. A lot of people referred to that as maybe he's going to turn heel, maybe he's getting called up to the main roster. We don't know on what is in the future of Austin Aries. He also went on to talk about 205 Live, saying there's a big vision for this. It doesn't happen overnight. Because we all know that the Cruiserweight Classic was much, much, much more successful than 205 Live, as it doesn't even break the top 20 in shows watched in the network. And the last little piece of news before I give you my take on some things is the rumored cover guy for WWE 2K18. Who is it? None other than Seth Rollins. It was rumored a little earlier this year that Roman Reigns would be on it. It was rumored that Undertaker could possibly be on it since it might have been his last ride. There was some rumors on a lot of different people, actually. But the one most heavily rumored as of late was Seth Rollins. Sportskeeda writer John Payne believes he figured out who the cover model for the WWE18 edition of the popular video game series WWE 2K is going to be, and it's Seth Rollins. Payne credits Reddit user Mad Dog Magnoff for the tip-off, noting that Mad Dog has been correct in his wrestling-related predictions before. Payne thinks it's the right move. He went on to say, the possibility of WWE choosing a young superstar such as Seth Rollins to be on the cover of its biggest annual video game is being heralded as a huge step towards progress by fans and critics alike, owing to the fact that promotions usually opt for established veterans or part-timers such as Brock Lesnar to feature on the video game's cover. So this, however, my take on this is this could drop the normal viewer from watching it, or from getting the game. A normal person sees Brock Lesnar on the game, he's like, oh, I know that guy. You know what? I want to play as him, I'm going to get the game. But if you're not a regular watcher and you don't know who Seth Rollins is, but you do like playing the WWE video games, you might not want the game because you don't know who Seth Rollins is. You don't know his backstory, how he was on the Shield and then he became a heel. He turned on Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns. You don't know how he got injured and then he came back bigger and better than ever with the redesign, rebuild, reclaim motto. You don't know all that stuff about Seth Rollins. You don't know that he is the best in the company at this moment. He is probably going to be the face of the WWE for quite some time. And I think he really could be the face of the WWE. Whether he be a heel or an actual babyface, he is a guy that a lot of people should and hopefully will be talking about in the future. So, that's that. Then you got my take on Lana Lena. Lana Lena debuted just as Lana on SmackDown this past week, taking out Naomi after winning in the Money in the Bank briefcase match. She got sent to the back, and then she came back out during the 6-woman tag match, and she tripped up Naomi, and that caused Tamina to hit a super kick on Naomi for the win. So, as interesting as that is, Lana Lena has some criticism. Does she deserve it? I don't think so. So basically what they're trying to tell us here is, all you got to do is show up on the show, make your debut, and you're on this show. But I think they're trying to go with a different route here, saying she's worked hard in NXT. I know she's worked NXT house shows. I've heard a lot of bad things and good things, saying she's pretty good in the ring, but she's very cringeworthy with her little gimmick. So that's kind of shocking that they're sending her right on her television debut. She's going right into a women's title match with no proven background at all, besides one WrestleMania 32 match, I believe it was, where she was in I believe an 8-woman tag match, maybe 6-woman. I don't know what it was. It was Brie Bella's last match. So Lana Lena here, she made her debut, and I was watching JD from New York, right? So if you want to go check out his podcasts, they're pretty good. He and me both had the same thing when it came to her debut. She gave a little kiss with her red lipstick to the camera. And when I was watching that, I was like, oh great, please don't tell me this is Eva Marie. And then I watched JD and he said the same thing. It was kind of funny, actually. She basically stole Emma's gimmick because Emma couldn't pull it off. And she got mixed with Eva Marie's gimmick. What is this? Emma Marie? I don't know what the heck this is. But the good thing is she's not red. She came out in blue, thank God. Thank God. Hopefully she can prove herself in the ring. She has been over with the fans. Now, I'm opposed to Shane McMahon giving her a title opportunity. Shane McMahon said he was opposed to it, but obviously he's not because he's the one who gave it to her. It makes no sense to me, honestly, how you can just join and get a shot. But apparently all you got to do is take out the champion and you're going to get a shot. So Naomi demanded her match against Lana. Hopefully Lana does not win. Or hopefully we get to see a couple matches of hers released from house shows. Or we can get to see a match coming on SmackDown. Maybe against a person like, I don't know, who could she fight? Like a Carmella? How about that? You like that? Originally, Lana was supposed to be a heel. She came out, she got babyface reactions. So, WWE, I think, is trying to convert her to a babyface. She took out a babyface champion, which I think nobody really cared about. I mean, it's getting a little stale after saying, oh, it's going to be lit time and time after again, and that weird laugh. Yeah. So, we're just going to have to wait and see what Lana Lena has in store for us. I'm not really too stoked about it, but, I mean, if she can prove herself in the ring, I'm not opposed to it. Alright. My top 5 potential opponents here for Kurt Angle. So, a guy I like to watch Kurt Angle fight, and somebody that Kurt Angle has recently came out saying that he wants to fight, Finn Balor. Think of that match. WrestleMania 34, Finn Balor, the Demon King, versus Kurt Angle. Wow, that would be good. I don't know if Kurt Angle would be able to keep up with a guy like Finn Balor in his youth, but there's no doubt that that would get a lot of hype. Another guy I would like to see Kurt Angle go against is Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, Kurt Angle. I would like to see it. It would be a babyface match, but it would be a good match here. I don't think he is the guy that could be Kurt's opponent, because I do believe this storyline is going to lead to Kurt Angle's potential return in ring action. The next guy I got in mind, and I think the most likely out of all of them, Triple H. A lot of people are speculating that Stephanie McMahon here could be coming back to television. You know what that means? Yeah, know what that means. It means somebody's going to have a bag over their head during about 30 minutes of Raw every week. That's going to be me. I'm just joking. But a match I don't really want to see, but I mean, it could be good. I mean, I don't want to see it at WrestleMania. Kurt Angle, Finn Balor could be a WrestleMania match. Kurt Angle, Seth Rollins could be a WrestleMania match. Much rather that happen. So that's 3. The 5th one here, Shane McMahon. I think that'd be a good match. The reason I say Shane McMahon, and the reason I'm going this route here, is one reason only. The angle they're going with here, ironic that I just said Angle, talking about Kurt Angle, is that Kurt Angle said this might ruin me. What might ruin you? That your show's bad? Or is it that SmackDown's better than your show? Or could it be something completely different? I think it would be cool here if it was that SmackDown was starting to become more relevant than Raw. That this eventually leads to either at SummerSlam or WrestleMania, Shane McMahon and Kurt Angle having a match to decide which brand is the better brand once and for all. That'd be kind of cool. I would like to see that. I think Raw would win. You want to know why Raw would win? Because their jobber, Jinder Mahal, became champion on SmackDown. They made SmackDown look complete foolishness with every wrestler on SmackDown. None of them look legit now just because Jinder's the champion. But apparently he has a mean streak going on now, so that's their way of explaining how Jinder Mahal can become a jobber to a champion, so whatever. And my last potential opponent for Kurt Angle, I know this is a long shot, but get me here. Wouldn't it be cool at WrestleMania 34, Kurt Angle versus Corey Graves? Corey Graves could have been setting Angle up this whole time for failure. Completely lying to Angle, leading to a match with him with both of their in-ring returns. That'd be cool. Now, I don't think Corey Graves is medically cleared to wrestle ever again, but that'd be kind of cool. I would enjoy that. Would you enjoy that? I would enjoy it. Another guy I would like to also point out could be another opponent is a Daniel Bryan, but take that with a grain of salt because we all know his medical issues have to deal with. My top 5 attackers here for Enzo and Cass. Number 1, the big, bold one, Cass. Cass here, he makes logical sense. Enzo's chains were on Cass. Cass could have set it all up. I don't know how he would have done it. It would have been stupid. Then nobody would have seen it. But why not? I don't want it to be Cass. The tag team division on Raw is very weak. But that's that. Also, number 2, I got Top Guys. Yep, that's right. The Revival. They've been on TV, which I think was a complete fluke the first time, and they just had to call them out for the next 2 backstage segments to act like they're in the back. But the first time, I don't think it was actually scripted for them to be back there. They are way too dumb for that. They have to be way too dumb for that. They really didn't. There's no way they were that clever. Another guy, or team here, that I think is a possibility here is American Alpha. They're from SmackDown. Get me that. But maybe, just maybe, they went to Raw. They went to Raw because they couldn't do it on SmackDown. They weren't being put on TV on SmackDown, so they were like, you know what, screw SmackDown. Let's go to Raw. And let's make our impact against Enzo and Cass. Because the last time we saw them was the tag team tournament thing. So, that could be a potential attacker of Enzo and Cass. Another person I believe could have done this is Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle said this might ruin me the same week Enzo and Cass got beat up. Or Enzo got beat up for 2 weeks, and then Cass got beat up for a week, and I assume he's going to get beat up next week. But I don't know if Kurt Angle would be a logical attacker here, just because there's no storyline behind it. Why would Kurt Angle have the motivation to attack him? To become a heel? To do what? To fight both of them? He doesn't have a tag team partner. What would the objective be there? And the last one I don't think is any bit of a possibility, but the Big Show. The Big Show here, he was featured in their little saga here. Cass got beat up. Enzo had a backup plan. He called out the Big Show. The Big Show was ready and willing and able, just like Chad Gable, to help Enzo out and beat the Club, who is an honorable mention for this. I don't think it is the Club, though, because they've been off TV forever, it seems like. I mean, it could be them, because they were supposed to fight the Club when they got beat up. And then they're supposed to fight the Club when they got beat up. And then they were supposed to fight the Club when they got beat up. So, it could be the Club, but Big Show here was featured in their little saga here. Big Show got to team with Enzo. I called it Big Enzo is their team, or I don't know what they'd call it. Big Zo? That'd be a good one. Big Zo. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be a weird tag team, though. If they were going to push Cass as a singles competitor, I mean, it would set up a Big Cass, Big Show feud. Enzo would be stuck in the middle of it. Cass would probably turn heel, and it'd be Big Zo. It kind of made a little tease that he was going to go to 205 Live when he said, Big Show, you're looking like a cruiserweight out here. Just let me tell you, you're in the ring with me, and I'm 206. That means I'm a heavyweight. That was kind of funny. And my take on Samoa Joe and Brock Lesnar. Woo-wee! That's going to be a good match. I believe it's 3 weeks away now. And might I say, we've watched one Raw of Samoa Joe promo. What did he do? He put Paul Heyman in the Coquina Clutch. Paul Heyman passed out. He cut a great promo against Paul Heyman. And then it also came down afterwards where Heyman also had a good promo. But then Joe puts down the mic, corners Heyman, nice and quietly, and he says, I want you to tell Brock Lesnar the only way you can, in excruciating detail of what you felt, when I'm going to put my arm around your neck, and I'm going to lock the Coquina Clutch in. Your eyes are going to get hazy, and then they're going to get black, and then you're going to black out, and you won't remember what happened. So, that was a phenomenal spot for Samoa Joe. Phenomenal. Samoa Joe is on another level right now when it comes to cutting promos. And then, in the main event, he got the cheap win. They should be building him up as the Destroyer Samoa Joe, or the Assassin Samoa Joe. The one that in TNA people chanted, Joe's gonna kill you. Joe's gonna kill you. They should be chanting that in the Lesnar match. Lesnar's supposed to be on Raw after Paul Heyman called and talked to Lesnar. Well, actually, Lesnar called Heyman. And Heyman showed us the phone and it said B-R-O-C-K in all caps. And he said, I think it's time that you come show Joe what his consequences will be. I look forward to Lesnar and Joe's promos next week. I know Lesnar's not going to do anything. I assume Lesnar's going to get an F5 off, or Joe's going to get a Coquina Clutch locked in. I think Samoa Joe should be the one to get the Coquina Clutch locked in, unless Samoa Joe's going to lose. If Samoa Joe's going to lose, you can let Brock Lesnar have 3 straight weeks of giving him F5s. If not, I want Samoa Joe to lock Brock Lesnar in the Coquina Clutch and make Brock Lesnar pass out on Raw. It's going to be a great match in Dallas. It will be great. There's no debate on that. There is no debate. If you don't think it's going to be great, you're not a wrestling fan. You didn't watch Monday Night Raw if you don't think it's going to be great. Did you see the intensity Samoa Joe put into that promo? I think what happened was Samoa Joe and Paul Heyman got together, because Paul Heyman, can basically say what he wants. And he got to get together with Samoa Joe, and they got to have a talk about what they wanted their promo to be. And obviously, they wanted Samoa Joe to come out looking like a complete monster. Samoa Joe was almost complete if he just locked Rollins in a Coquina Clutch right away and put Rollins to sleep right away. That would have been, nobody would debate. That would be a legit match right away. Lesnar, Joe, legit. Mark the stamp. That would be legit right away if he just locked Rollins in like that. Everybody would know it would be legit too, just because Seth Rollins is a great wrestler. Joe is a great wrestler. But you gotta build Samoa Joe to look like that great wrestler. You gotta build Samoa Joe to put people asleep right away. Because then you have that not when Joe could strike with the coquina clutch. And immediately putting him out. They could play around that fact for Great Balls of Fire. When Lesnar gets in the coquina clutch, Lesnar's not losing. It's a one and done situation here. So Lesnar's gonna get up, he's gonna convert it into an F5 somehow, some way. And they'll play. If Joe only had it locked in for 2, maybe 3 more seconds, Lesnar was gonna pass out. They could play through all that storyline, giving Joe another chance. I don't think they will. I think it would be great to see some of Joe Lesnar at SummerSlam or even Mania. But, Roman Reigns has got that title slot at Mania already. So, that'd be a great, great match at Great Balls of Fire. And if they screw it up like they did the Goldberg-Owens match, it'll be sad. I will be disappointed. I really think Joe has what it takes to be the champion. I think they should actually put the title onto Joe. Why not? Why not put the title onto Joe? It makes sense. Samoa Joe is your champion. Think about it. Think about it. Samoa Joe, Universal Champion, actually on the show. That'd be great. That would be great. I don't think Samoa Joe's going to have the chance to look like a complete monster by putting 2 people asleep in one night unless he comes out during a main event and puts somebody to sleep just to prove a point to Brock Lesnar. I don't think they're going to schedule Joe to fight up until Great Balls of Fire unless that be on a house show. Brock Lesnar's not going to fight up until Great Balls of Fire, I don't believe. I do expect them to have some great promos in between their Great Balls of Fire pay-per-view. So, thank you guys for watching this edition of the Gutcheck podcast, where we found out Jake the Snake's possible return match. We got to talk about Lana Lena. We got to talk about the Cover Boy. We got to talk about... Oh, we didn't talk about this, did we? Never mind. Undertaker possibly returning for WrestleMania 34. Now, at, I believe, Extreme Rules... No, yeah, it was Extreme Rules. Michael Cole said, quote unquote, the guy that possibly ended The Undertaker's career. They were refusing to say ended. After that phenomenal send-off, the one that made everybody, including, the complete, grown men, cry. Every wrestling fan, if they weren't crying, they weren't a wrestling fan. Everybody was tearing up at that moment. Undertaker left their arena in the most memorable way possible. That was the most memorable retirement ever. And if he returns, they could have ruined that. They're going to have to do it again. That's the sad thing. They're going to have to do it again. And it would have to be different. It would have to be different. It would have to result in Undertaker winning. Whether that be against Roman Reigns, whether that be against AJ Styles, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins said he wanted a match against Undertaker. Okay, let him fight him. Let him fight him. Why not? So, Undertaker, though, said if he doesn't need another hip replacement, he might consider it. But needs another hip replacement. His career in wrestling is finished. So it's sad to see that the Undertaker's medical health is at risk here. He had a pretty... wasn't a great match at WrestleMania. But it was a great send-off. It made everybody, all the hardcore fans, anybody who knew Undertaker, they were upset. They were crying, man. To see Undertaker fight his last match would be great. But I think it also ruined the great send-off that you just gave him. I might be going to WrestleMania 34. As much as I would like to see The Undertaker at WrestleMania 34, it would ruin all that hard work The Undertaker's ever done just to come back after he looked like he retired. That was a phenomenal way to retire Undertaker. I don't know how they do it again. I don't know how they would do it again. Whether Undertaker takes off the boots, the hat, the everything besides his pants, then I don't know how Undertaker would do it. I don't know if Undertaker I don't know. I don't know how they would top that great send-off. The only way they could top it, and get this, is Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker for one reason and one reason only. Brock Lesnar ended Undertaker's streak in Louisiana. They could play off the story that Taker got his streak redeemed at WrestleMania 34 against Brock Lesnar, and he could retire the place that the very streak got retired. But the send-off was phenomenal. I don't know how you can send him off any better. The only send-off that could have been better, really, was the Shawn Michaels one, after a phenomenal match with The Undertaker. I mean, we didn't have to see Michaels on Raw. We didn't. I didn't want to see him on Raw. I actually, at the time, I wanted to see him on Raw because I was so upset that Michaels' career just ended. But if you think about it, Michaels would have retired at WrestleMania and just not showed up on the Raw. It would have been a great send-off for him. Even after the loss. It would have been a great send-off for Shawn Michaels. See Chris Jericho's career ending soon, too. Maybe he's going to get sent off at WrestleMania 34. Thank you guys for watching the Gutcheck podcast here today with Gamer Goon. Also me, as most of you know me. Anyways, you can look out for my Monday Night Raw review coming out tomorrow evening after Monday Night Raw. Directly after Monday Night Raw, actually. You can also look out for the SmackDown Live review. You got my Money in the Bank predictions coming up soon. My early favorites. I'll tell you guys later. I believe Wednesday or Thursday. I'm going to the event, so that could be kind of great. What else? E3 is coming up soon. It's, I believe June 13th through 15th. WWE got a slot at, on the 15th for an hour. So we might see some either teasers, trailers, or at least get to know what modes or something about 2K18, hopefully. Hopefully we get to see that, because an hour presentation is pretty long at E3. Usually it's like a 20-minute to 10-20 minute presentation. So we might get to see a little hint of what 2K18 has in store for us. So that's going to be pretty good, I hope. Thank you guys for watching the Gutcheck podcast. And for now, see you guys later.